guys, and welcome to the Caravan Raid Descent Guide video thing with the completely wrong name. So, Caravan is commonly done very poorly, and it's not going to matter as much now, but later on, when you go through the rotation, if he comes back again, he's going to be a significantly larger problem. So one, I want to mention quickly before we start, he has a very dangerous attack that freezes you. And you can mitigate it with a bunch of different things. One of the things is... Do I have the game up still? I do. Is a unique belt called the Glacial Song. Okay. It's a pretty low... Where is it? It's a tier 14 belt. There is a much higher one, the 33, but they do the same thing, and for what it is worth, this is the important right here. Immune to freeze. So the Glacial Song and the Unbending Mind Glacial Song make you completely immune to freeze, because and when I get to it, I'll explain what's going on, why that's important. Or you can get the Shout of Justice linked to buff activation upon crowd control, which is another really good way to break out of that issue. And lastly, if you can get immune to freeze on boots and something else. I can't remember what else you can get it on, but you can get it on other things. Obviously, it goes without saying that because he is a cold enemy, he's going to do cold damage, but it is important to note that there is a phase where he does a lot of chaos damage, and unless you've got a lot of move speed and are very good at movement in general, you're going to take a ton of chaos damage. So if you have low chaos damage, it's important to remember to take some pots, or make sure you get your chaos resist up through the unique helmet, the Face of Wilderness, or any other such thing to do to deal with the chaos damage. So the fight is fairly straightforward when you know what you're doing. Otherwise, it's absolute chaos. So first thing first, the person who hits him first, he's going to lock onto you and chase you, okay? He's going to pulse a chaos damage thing that sucks anyone in, okay? So you, the first person that hits them, you are now effectively the tank, okay? And you need to drag him around the outside of the map away from other people, okay? If you're strong enough to just go into a corner, that's what I do. I don't do it in this video because someone else hits it first. But if you can drag him into a corner and just stand there and absorb the damage, that's the best case scenario. Everyone else can be over there and be safe. So that's important to note that the first person that hits him is going to get him locked onto them for the first 10 seconds or whatever. And if you are that person, don't drag him into the group because you will kill a bunch of people. Make sure you let him follow you. Everyone else can follow behind and shoot. He will immediately summon ads. Let's get into the actual fight here. Okay, so that person runs over and hits him. So now that person, he is going to follow. Okay, you can see the red pulse from the chaos that he is doing. During this entire time, he will be summoning ads like crazy. The best way to deal with this, and no one ever does it, but it's really good, is stack everybody on top of each other and follow him around basically stacked up. All the ads will come towards you. Everybody will shoot at the closest target. The ads will get cut down very quickly. What generally happens is everyone scatters everywhere and tries to deal with the ads on their own, and everybody dies. Again, early in the rotation, like this, it's not so bad, but later on it becomes a major problem, and if everybody would just stack up a little bit, it would make this part much easier. Okay, so he's going to follow that person. They don't know what they're doing, so they're running all over the place, and you can see a bunch of people die, and everybody gets pulled in and takes a bunch of damage. I typed some stuff. I'm glad you can't really see what it's saying. Hold on. Did I miss anything while I was watching that nonsense? Okay, this is the next big mechanic that you need to worry about. Okay, every once in a while he will slam down onto the ground. Okay, and create two tornadoes, one inside and one outside. You need to be in this band here where there is no wind. It does a lot of damage and it ticks very quickly. So as soon as you start to see the haze of this thing appearing, you will see I move immediately to the middle section of it. Whoop, because I know I'll get killed otherwise. Now, what the second part of that, I don't know why I put 3. The second part of that is while he is doing this, he is going to rear back with his weapon and target the highest DPS in the group. Okay? Everybody else should move away from that person, generally to the other side of him, okay? Because he's going to hit down with a very large cone attack that does a lot of damage. Again, early in rotation, not so bad. Later, it will definitely wipe groups. You can see him wind it up, okay? Sort of. So there, he's winding. Weapons behind his back. And slam. Now, he will follow you while he's winding up. But once he's all the way wound up, he's locked into that direction. So if you are the high DPS, at that point, you can dash to the side and get out of it. Or just absorb it if you have absorption to be able to do that. After that, he will spawn more adds almost immediately. Oh, hold on. But the important thing here is this here. Every once in a while, he will pulse out an attack that goes out in 5 directions. Okay, you can see it here on the ground. And you can see KR Boogs here getting frozen. Okay, bam. If you don't have any crowd control or immunity to freeze, you are going to get frozen. Very shortly after this, he is going to send out big ice balls. They're fairly slow, but they're projectiles. Along those same paths, and anybody frozen in there is going to get one shot. You can absorb these shots. If you see people frozen, all you got to do is step in front of it. It will do basically no damage to you if you're not frozen, but if it's frozen, it's a one shot. You can see I dive in front of the ball there to save Boog. Some more adds. He's going to do a lot of teleporting stuff. He does a lot of like big spinny slam stuff. Waiting for him to do something else. So there, at 25%, he will go back into that initial chase phase. He will go after the highest DPS. If you're coherent enough to pay attention to the health bar, as he approaches that 25% mark, which I still don't understand why they don't have any kind of tick marks on the bar like every other RPG that has ever existed to show you percentages, but that's fine. So he's going to go back into his chase phase. Again, he's going to pulse AoE chaos and pull everyone in. He's going to spawn adds while he's doing it. Everybody who isn't the high DPS should be behind him, clearing up the adds. You don't want to be close. He will pull you in. If a person doesn't know what they're doing, they're just going to run around in circles. The adds get cleaned up. As soon as that finishes, he will go right into tornado phase again. Again, get into the middle. Don't stand in the thing like Boog did and die. Another frozen attack thing. Frost balls. There's a good shot of the frost balls and how quick they are. They are not fast at all. Doop, doop, doop. Lots of time to intercept them if you see people frozen. Save your teammates. Save your teammates. Later in the fight, it is going to be important to have a lot of people. Just because you think you're super strong and you can do whatever, you shouldn't. You should be saving your teammates. Okay, some more attacks. We're just waiting for some more. The next big phase here. Okay, so now at I don't even know, 60%, he's going to go into a like transitional thing. He's going to throw away his weapon and he's going to teleport to the middle. When he does, he's going to summon a whole bunch of chaos damage orbs that orbit him. And when they strike you, they will do chaos damage to you, and they will pulse chaos damage around you. Don't stack on other players, because you can kill other players just by like kind of reverberating effect. If two players are on top of each other, this one gets hit and pulses, and then this one gets hit and pulses, and you can kill each other. Don't stack on top of each other. Try to be away from other players. You can see I try to get away from the other players. You don't have to dodge these if you have a ton of chaos res. I'm doing it for effect here just to show you it's not too bad to dodge them. But they do a ton of chaos damage. If you don't have a lot of chaos resist, you are definitely going to eat it. After that phase, he will lock back onto the highest DPS, which is Aerotide in this case. He's going to do some more swings and stuff. He's going to do another tornado phase here in a second. And it's important to note that without his weapon, after he has dropped it, so past that 60% mark, his rear back and slam is going to be half the time. So if you are worried about getting hit by it, you really need to be paying attention for when he starts to rear back to dash to the sides to avoid it. Again, any player who is not the high DPS should be over here, either to the sides or behind him, so that you're not getting hit by that slam. And I'm fairly confident that's it. Yeah. No, never mind. What am I talking about? Never mind. Hold on. This phase, okay. Now, there's a ton of these big things on the ground. You have to run over them to collect them. You have to collect them all, or he will pulse out a massive AoE and it will kill everyone. This is why you got to save your teammates. Even if they're not doing a lot of DPS, you got to save your teammates, because it is not particularly easy. It's a very, very short timer to collect them all. And generally what you should do going into this phase, if you're with a group that you know what you're doing, you should be spread out, okay? And generally what I say, and I say this in all the things, but no one ever listens to me, is just go clockwise. Don't do this back and forth running around. Everybody starts wherever, spread out, and you all run clockwise. That way everybody's picking up as you go. There's any that appear behind you, you're not wasting time turning around and going back. After that, the fight is just wash, rinse, repeat. He's going to go into another ball phase. You have to survive that. And he will, depending on how long you take, he will get into another collection phase. I think we got into a second collection phase here. And there you can see we didn't collect all the puddles, okay? And it does a lot of damage here, a lot. I am someone who's proud of his tankiness, and that brought me to about a quarter. It is a ton of damage. So do your best to make sure you collect all of those orbs again. If you have the wherewithal to get your team to, cooperate, again, just everybody goes clockwise. But there you go. That's the fight. I hope it helps. I hope you guys get through it and get all your rewards and stuff. I am super tired, so I'm going to go lay down. As always, if I made a mistake or there was something I missed in this video, please let me know in the comments and I will correct it in the description. And there's always a link to my Twitch if you want to come hang out and talk about the game or ask any questions on any topic in the game. We will do our best to help. Other than that, guys, good luck out there. Stay safe and get all the good drops. Yeah, get them done. I don't even know what I'm saying.